Students, in the previous video we have studied asexual reproduction in animals. Now we are going to learn asexual reproduction in plants. Asexual reproduction in plant is also known as vegetative reproduction. Is also known as vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. What do you mean by this vegetative propagation? That means a plant, vegetative part of the plant can give rise to a new plants. How? Like vegetative parts like roots, birds, leaf, stem, sometimes flowers. So these parts of the plant can give rise to a new plant. So the formation of new plant from the vegetative units or vegetative parts, and such vegetative parts which are the capable of giving rise to a new plants are called vegetative propagules. Vegetative propagules. And these vegetative propagules are capable of giving rise to new plants. So such vegetative parts which are capable of giving rise to a new plant are called vegetative propagules. Vegetative propagules or vegetative units can be roots, can be birds, can be leaf, can be stems, etc. So now let us see one by one. Roots. So roots, underground roots, we have seen sweet potato and dalbergia, that is also called shiso, dalbergia. In such plants, roots can give rise to a new plant. So these are the vegetative units. And now let us see some underground part of the plant, or underground vegetative propagules. We can say that underground vegetative propagules. Now let us see some examples of vegetative propagules. These are very important and we should learn it because many questions are asked from this. One questions is always there in the exams from these vegetative propagules. So let us see, this is very important. Some of the collection I have written here, you must go through it. The first one, underground vegetative propagules. First one is tuber, or these are the stems. Actually all these are vegetative propagules, are stem propagules, and these stem, the part of the stem here, these are the underground stems. The eyes bird of the potato can give rise to a new plants. Then bulbs, ऑनियन का जो डिश लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स है, जो नीचे जहाँ बिलो दैट द रूट्स आर ग्रोन एंड above that leafy scales are grown, and that bulbs disc plate is called bulbs, and bulbs is seen in onions, and this can give rise to a new plant. Corms is calocasia. Rhizomes are again which is birds. These birds can give rise to a new plant in banana and ginger. Sucker is seen in mint or chrysanthemum plant. And some aerial parts are there. Aerial parts, or we can say that aerial vegetative propagules. Runner propagule is seen in cynodon. Cynodon means दूब grass, जिसको पूजा वगैरह में यूज करते हैं, and oxalis. Stolons, these are the birds which is give rise to a new plant in the strawberry and vallisneria. Offsets is the aerial part which is seen in E. cornea. E. cornea is also known as the water hyacinth. Now let us see the aerial parts or aerial vegetative propagules. Aerial vegetative propagules can take part in vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means they can also give rise to a new plants, like runner. Runner is the first one. Runner, these are the green horizontal branches which develops at the base of, and this give rise to a new plant in cynodon. Cynodon, doob grass or oxalis. Stolon. A stolon is this is a horizontal branch. This is also developed at the base, which helps in vegetative propagation in strawberry or Vallisneria. Now this offset is very important. Offset is very important, and this is seen in Eucornia. Eucornia, this is water hyacinth. Eucornia's another name is water hyacinth. Water hyacinth are generally seen in the ponds and lakes, but it is known as, it is referred as, it is called as terror of Bengal. It is known as terror of Bengal. Why? Because Eucornias, we have already seen that a sexual mode of reproduction is very fast and rapid process, and rapid multiplication takes place in water hyacinth, and water hyacinth grows very rapidly, and it takes up all the oxygens. It takes up oxygens dissolved in water very rapidly, and what happens, this leads to the death of, if oxygen is decreased in water, dissolved oxygen is decreased in the water, so death of aquatic organism takes place. Aquatic organism takes place, and the whole water is covered with this water hyacinth. It very soon, within very short time, in a short period. That is why this is known as a terror of Bengal, and this becomes a menace for the aquatic organism, and this plant becomes very fatal to the people, or for the water body, because it takes up all the resources which is available in the water, and aquatic organism will feel scarcity of the resources or oxygen, and they will start dying. It leads to death of, this causes a lot of death in aquatic life, aquatic organism. So this becomes uh, terror for aquatic life. And Bengal, it was brought because it has very beautiful flowers, so it was grown in the pond, and very soon it covered the whole pond, and causes death of living organisms in the pond, and very soon it becomes spreaded all over the water body, and waterlogging also. Leaf birds. Leaf birds, the bird-like structures grow in the leaf, and and detach from the leaf and grow as a new individual in bryophyllum or adiantum. Adiantum is also known as walking fern. Walking fern. Bulbil, again very important. Bulbil is floral buds. This is the parts of flower in the bud like the axil, floral axil से bud arise होता है, and that buds will give rise to a new plant in agave. Agave is a plant. Okay. Now here all the vegetative propagations इसका जो key features है, that is node. If all the vegetative propagules give rise to a new plant because of the presence of the nodes. If the nodes is not present, if this node is not present in any vegetative propagule, it will not give rise to a new plant. Sometimes question is asked, vegetative parts are sown in the soil, but it did not grow into a new plant. What happens to them? They did not grow into a new plant because there were not presence of node in the vegetative propagules. So vegetative propagules will grow into a new plant only then when there is nodes presence in the propagules. So propagules में nodes होता है. Nodes समझ रहे होंगे. Nodes मतलब जो गांठ होती है, two nodes जहाँ से branches comes out or leaves comes out or flower comes out. We have already studied in class 11th. एंड वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेग्यूल्स का जो कमर्शियल यूज भी हम करते हैं, कमर्शियल यूज के लिए कमर्शियल यूज ऑफ वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन का कमर्शियल यूज को वी कैन कॉल दिस आर्टिफिशियल प्रोपेगेशन, आर्टिफिशियल वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन का कमर्शियल यूज हम लोग कर रहे हैं. द फार्मर्स आर यूज्ड इन बाय फार्मर्स or horticulture department. It is used in a large scale, and the three methods are used here. The methods are cutting, layering, and grafting. Cutting, layering, and grafting. Okay, cutting, layering, and grafting. These three methods are being used in asexual reproduction in plants, and this sexual reproduction is very useful in plants because vegetative parts can give rise to new plants in a very short period. A large number of plants can be grown in a very short period, and so now we have studied that asexual reproduction in plants or vegetative propagation in plants. Vegetative propagation in plants, we have seen that many vegetative parts of the plants which can give rise to a new plant, or which has capacity to grow into a new plant, are called vegetative propagules or vegetative propagules. That may be roots in sweet potato and Dalbergia, and many examples are there, but these two are very important. Underground stems or underground vegetative propagules in this tuber, bulbs, corms, rhizomes, suckers. So tubers in potato, bulbs onion, corms in calocasia, rhizomes in banana, ginger, or suckers in mint. Very important. This very important. Now, aerial vegetative propagules are runners, stolen, offset, leaf buds, bulbil, and all that. Runners in cynodon, stolen strawberry, offset in water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is terror of Bengal, ecornia, because it takes up all the oxygen from water, or it multiplies very fast and grows within no time. It covers the whole water body. And leaf bud is bryophyllum, and bulbil is very important now. This is floral bud in agave, and the key feature for this vegetative propagation is the nodes. And artificial vegetative propagation or commercial use of vegetative propagation is being used by three methods like cutting, layering, and grafting. Okay, sorry, this part of the chapter becomes over. The next video will study about sexual reproduction.